So, we shall be talking about systems approach to microorganisms and the immune system, the interrelationship between microorganisms and the immune system. And then these are some of the things we shall be talking about. One, microorganisms will be introduced to us, and then we shall be looking at microorganisms as purveyors of diseases. And do microorganisms serve any fundamental benefit to our health, and what really makes us healthy and what makes us who we are? Then we shall be giving a summary of our lecture. So to start with, microorganisms are found in both terrestrial and aquatic environment. Remember, they are ubiquitous, virtually found everywhere. And one commonality that is noticeable across microorganisms in the terrestrial environment is their contact with the sun. Because they are found on our body surfaces, in the water we drink, and on the objects around us, their replications and energy derivations are heavily reliant on the sun. The sun provides us with a reason to move quickly as well as the energy to do so. Microbes are completely disconnected from the sun in the aquatic environments, particularly the deep ocean, which is defined by complete darkness, freezing temperatures, and crushing pressure. They have a very different relationship with time and energy. They don't care about the sun, they don't care about speed, and they most likely don't care about my petri dish. Putting such microbes in a petri dish is akin to telling them to adapt to a phonetic, sun-centric fast way of living. And perhaps they have a better plan than that. So microbes as purveyors of diseases. Microbes have long been regarded as disease carriers. Smallpox was one of the most feared of mankind's great diseases. Not only did it kill a large number of people, but survivors were left with disfiguring pock marks for the rest of their lives. In 1157 BC, Pharaoh Ramses V was killed and disfigured by smallpox. In ancient Greece and Egypt, there was an epidemic of leprosy, tuberculosis, diphtheria, meningococcal disease, and so on. Then the 1918 influenza pandemic killed over 50 million people and displaced over 500 million people too. Today, we are still dealing with the after effects of COVID-19. Our understanding has been illuminated by the preceding theological analysis to always blaming microbes for every problem. Microbes are beneficial to health. Are they truly beneficial to health? Now, they believe that microbes are purveyors of diseases and serve no fundamental role in our health and should be eradicated from the earth with drugs and vaccines if possible is untenable. For me, with the discovery of the indispensable role of the microbiome and the subpopulations of viruses within it, the virome, we have entered into an entirely new, ecologically based view of the body and its eukaryotic processes. We are a working ecosystem of microbes with 380 trillion viruses, 60 trillion bacteria, and a few fungi littering our skin, intestine, mucous membranes, and so on. The truth is that you are genetically designed to coexist with those microbes on this planet, and in order to do so, you must create an environment that is mutually beneficial to both you and the microbes. Pathogenic organisms will find the environment uninhabitable if they, in this manner, by delaying or permanently remaining friendly to your body. Microbes are truly beneficial. God has designed you from head to toe to live above every disease on this planet by putting your guardian microbes in charge of disease-prone areas. Example, Staphylococcus epidermidis on the skin prevents its cousin, Staphylococcus aureus, from adhering to and invading your skin cells. It also produces bacteriocin, which are proteins that kill pathogenic bacterial species. Propionine bacterium acnes degrades lipids within its cells and transport the fatty acid breakdown products to the skin, lowering pH and preventing the growth of Streptococcus pyogenes, a commensal normal flora of the skin and throat. Because of its high ability to absorb UV radiation, Micrococcus luteus has been dubbed super sunscreen. The mouth and tongue support a diverse bacterial flora, with the majority of bacteria being harmless and even beneficial. Despite the stomach high acidic content with pH as low as 1.5 and bile acids as low as 2, there are still microbes that survive there, most notably lactobacilli. Lactobacilli are converted to phosphorus in the presence of phytase, which improves intestinal absorption of iron, zinc, and calcium. Many lactic acid bacteria have extremely high levels of intracellular manganese, which scavenges toxic oxygen species, particularly superoxide. Streptococcus thermophilus, Lactobacillus bulgaricus, Lactobacillus acidophilus, Bifidobacterium bifidus, Lactobacillus cassia are among the microbes found in the small and large intestines. We rely on the Shikimate pathway in the gut bacteria to supply aromatic amino acid, among other things. Lactobacilli in the wander down under produce lactic acid, hydrogen peroxide, which is a broad spectrum antimicrobial, bacteriocins, which are target-specific antimicrobials, and other substances that inhibit the growth of yeasts and other undesirable organisms. They keep the wander down below at a pH of 4. If these are true of microbes, then they can be said to be parts of the innate immune system. So let's talk about the current model of the immune system. The immune system is a far more complex than the two-box model that we were taught. We talk about the innate immune system. When a healthy person comes in contact with pathogens, the innate immune system, which is always present, mediates the initial protection against infection. For example, the lightly acidic and oily secretions of the sebaceous gland and sweat glands can slow the excessive growth of bacteria on the skin. The innate immune cells include dendritic cells, macrophages, basophils, and eosinophils are there to protect us. The adaptive immune system. Pathogens are specifically targeted by the adaptive immune system, which is divided into humoral and the cell-mediated immunity. The T cell is one of the most important cells in the adaptive immune system because it sends cytokines to all of the body's cells. Remember, cytokines mediates across cells and hormones mediates across organs. We talk about the B cells. It makes a lot of protein, or rather an antibody. The virally infected cell is killed by the cytotoxic T cell. It produces a large number of cytokines. Now we look at the system's architecture of the immune system. The current state of knowledge holds that the interferon system is a missing link between the innate and adaptive immune system. The interferon system. When a cell comes in contact with a virus, the interferon system in the cell is activated. The cell's kinase, which aids in the transfer of phosphates groups from ATP, is activated, resulting in the release of phosphates. In the presence of phosphates, the virus forms a complex with interferon regulatory factor 3, a commensal process, or rather a chemical process known as phosphorylation. This complex traverses through the nucleus, inspiring the interferon genes to produce interferon protein, which is then transported outside of the cell. Remember the central dogma of molecular biology that transcription happens in the nucleus of the cell and translation happens outside the nucleus of the cell. We talk about the neural system. The immune system is controlled and coordinated by the neural system. The nervous system is the first system to develop in the body, appearing 7 hours after fertilization. Then the microbiome, the virome or the enteric system. The vagus nerve connects the enteric system, and the enteric system houses about 7 or 80% of the immune system to the neural system. So the enteric system connects the neural system, or rather the vagus nerve connects the neural system to the enteric system. Thank you. So in summary, we have seen that microbes, they are purveyors of diseases, but they still serve fundamental role in our health, and that ammonium glutamate toxicity in the brain can arise because of insufficient manganese. That the immune system is a much more complex system than we can imagine. Thank you.